cross over to some extent into traditional security. So for instance, wildlife trafficking, drug trafficking, human trafficking, all of these issues are common in the region. Illegal and unreported fishing is particularly contentious because it overlaps with territorial disputes. So these issues are, global in scale. Southeast Asia is kind of a hotspot for them. There's also sort of even more non-traditional than that, and which is what I work on, food, water, and energy security. So because Southeast Asia is developing rapidly, population growth is continuing at a quite high rate, energy demand is skyrocketing, living standards are rising along with the high rate of economic development, resources are becoming very scarce. And so it's particularly contentious over transboundary resources, be those fisheries in the marine area, or for instance, the shared water and other environmental flows in the Mekong River in mainland Southeast Asia, which is primarily what I work on. And so there's a need for capacity building, there's a need for technical assistance in these areas, particularly on the transboundary aspect of things. And this is an issue which is global in scale and is often talked about sort of in the context of water wars, if you will, as a future threat. But transboundary water management in particular is something that's very scalable. So looking at a system scale approach to planning that crosses not only multiple sectors within one country, but multiple countries collaborating on a shared resources is an issue. Here, it's an issue if you look at rivers in South Asia, many of which flow from the Himalayan region in China. It's an issue in Central Asia. It's an issue in the MENA region and broader Africa. These are issues which are non-traditional in nature, and often the people that work on them are in ministries which are not powerful. For instance, the Ministry of Environment or Natural Resources. So there's a real need for building relations across sectors and across countries. In many ways, the United States is involved in capacity building to a degree that very few other countries are. I mean, certainly European countries are very active. Here in Southeast Asia, the United States and Australia are particularly active on these issues. And it stands out just because it is in contradiction to sort of what most people view as assistance and engagement. When you think of the United States engagement in Southeast Asia, a lot of it is through the terms of investment, foreign direct investment, military assistance, humanitarian and disaster relief assistance, but the United States also has significant educational and technological and technical capacities that are important to share. And there is a request for that. So many countries in the region ask for United States assistance to build national capacity in areas of, for instance, water management in an increasingly variable climate, looking to examples from, for instance, the Mississippi River in the United States, looking essentially at lessons learned from the United States' own development, which are very applicable in developing countries now. And there are a lot of technological advances that can be brought to bear. So for instance, the United States' expertise in renewable energy, for instance, or in smart grid management are deeply important for countries with expanding electricity transmission grids and high rates of energy demand growth. This is important for the United States to bring in because otherwise these countries would be locked into older systems. So there's definitely a lessons learned in capacity building opportunity here.